As she said, I'm Deleesa Meashintubby. The weekend, sometimes I'm Pastor Deleesa Meashintubby. During the week, I'm the Executive Director, Deleesa Meashintubby. But every day, I am your partner. Amen? So, I love the theme of what you had today, hope. And I wrote a little few things that says, hope that carries us forward. Not the kind of hope that says, I hope I pass this test. Not the hope that says, I hope things get better somehow. But the kind of hope that survives storms. With this being Black History Month, we remember something powerful. There were generations of people who chose hope when they had every reason not to choose hope. Hope when they were enslaved, when they were segregated, when they were told they were less than, and even when doors were slammed in their faces. And that hope didn't just help them survive, it helped them to change a nation. That matters for all of us in this room today. Black students, brown students, white students, every background represented here. Because hope is not just part of Black history, hope is part of our shared future. Hope is courage. Sometimes when we talk about history, especially the painful parts, it can feel uncomfortable. There's slavery, segregation, racism, and injustice. It's a heavy load. But real hope does not ignore the hard truths. Real hope faces those truths. The students who marched in Birmingham were college students and high schoolers such as yourselves here. They sat at lunch counters during sit-ins. They were hopeful. Hope said, this is not the way it has to stay. Hope gave them courage to walk into schools that didn't want them, Little Rock, Arkansas. Hope gave them courage to speak when it was easier and maybe even safer to stay silent. Hope is not pretending everything is fine. Hope is believing we can make it better. To the Black students in the room, I want to say to you, your story is your strength. Your history is not just a history of pain. It is a history of brilliance, innovation, leadership, creativity, faith, and strength. Your ancestors built, created, led, thought, sang, prayed, dreamed, even when the world tried to limit them. That resilience runs in you. When you walk into a classroom, when you apply for college, when you use your voice, and when you succeed, you carry a legacy of strength. But I want you to hear this clearly. To all the other students in this room, you are not responsible for carrying the weight of history alone. We need you to stand together. And all of us, we are allowed to dream. You are allowed to be joyful. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to hope for a future that is lighter than the past. Your story matters. Your voice matters. And your future matters. Black History Month is not something that you stand outside of. All of you students who are not Black, you are not standing outside watching. History belongs to us all. Hope requires participation. Hope looks like listening. Hope looks like learning. Hope looks like empathy. And hope looks like friendship across lines that used to divide us. You are responsible, or you are not responsible for the past, but you are responsible for the future you helped build. And hope says, we can build something better together. It takes courage to have conversations. It takes maturity to care about justice, and it takes strength to stand beside someone not above them. That is hopeful leadership. Look around this room here. You share classrooms. You share hallways. You share teams. You share laughter. You share dreams about the future, and you also share songs. You are not enemies. You are classmates. And hope says your generation can do what previous generations struggled to do. Understand each other. Respect each other. And most of all, stand up for each other. Not because it's a cool thing to do, because it's the right thing to do. Every generation gets a moment in time. The civil rights generation had theirs. The generation before them had theirs. But now is your time. You live in a time where conversations about race, equality, and justice are happening loudly. You can respond with anger, without understanding. You can stay quiet because of fear or hope that leads to action. But hope says, I want to be part of the solution. How does that look? Stop laughing at racist jokes. Speak up when someone is being disrespected. Build real friendships across racial lines. Educate yourselves instead of just assuming. Choose kindness. These are not small things. These are seeds of change. And when you plant that seed, and if someone else comes behind and waters it, it'll surely grow. The hope we celebrate during Black History Month is not weak. It is resilient hope. The kind that marched across bridges. The kind that endured dogs and fire hoses. The kind that kept believing in freedom before they could even see freedom. Sometimes you've got to believe it before you see it. The same spirit of hope is needed now. And hope says, we are not finished. Black History Month is about remembering, but it's also about becoming. Become a generation that listens, that leads, and refuses to repeat the worst parts of history by becoming a generation that carries hope forward. Hope is not owned by one race. It is strengthened when we share it. When you leave this room, remember, you're not just students. You are our future leaders, our future voters, our future teachers, our future business owners, and future change makers. Be the change you want to see. And I ask you to keep hope alive. The hope you chose today shapes the history someone will study tomorrow. Let's be a generation known not by for the division, but for the courage, for compassion, and for hope. Again, keep hope alive. Amen?